Good morning, good morning. Getting ready for workouts. I wanted to title this video kind of something funny, but listen to Ed and I think his last live stream and talking about Eboni K. Williams and how Eboni K. Williams, not Jesse Smollett, Jesse Williams, and how that chick pretty much paid for her, her Tyrone. Pay for the baby, blah, 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 or pay for the baby maker and all that other stuff, right? So my thing is, Eboni K. Williams, you can pay for it. It's time to trick or get off the pot. People talk badly, talk down about tricking. I think it's something, if you use it too much or do it too much, it can be detrimental. I'm going to project my voice, so sorry. It can be detrimental to your overall mental health in terms of like your sexual mental health and how you see women, especially if you get lost in it, so on and so forth, and then making decent relationships and shit like that. But trick or get off the pot. Tricking, if used properly or done properly, can be an effective tool to scratch that itch. These women talking about how, they want to do in vitro fertilization and all these other methods just to try and get pregnant and be a mother themselves. Like, yo, listen, that time is over. That time begins to be over, especially in your 30s. Like, we know this, especially as men in the space. We know these numbers. Once we got past a lot of the red pill rage stuff and got out of the feelings, start getting into statistics and start studying the opposite sex along with ourselves in terms of our behaviors and mannerisms and the things that we were deficient in and what we needed to do to move forward, to move the needle, to progress. You started to see that, hey, listen, Rollo Tomasi and, BGS quoting or using one of his infographics and stuff like that in terms of the value of men and women and when they meet up. But you start to see, right? I mean, we're starting to see where a lot of these millennials, a lot of us millennials are coming into the time of our lives where we're just, we're coming to the time of our lives where we are getting old. We're coming, the geriatric millennials and stuff like that, coming into, almost walking up the steps to the seat of power. You're seeing where, a lot of these politicians, they're aging out. A lot of politicians are like, listen, man, you shouldn't even be this old in office. You shouldn't die in office. Like, that type of shit, like, it's over with all that. If anything, you should be an advisor to the next generation. Like, it's time to let go, blah, blah, blah. And Ed has said this stuff, and I agree with it, and that's why I'm parroting it here. But a part of letting go is, hey, you out the game. You can't have children, baby. You having children and trying to hold, carry a child to term and all that stuff, you and your body cannot handle it. You got to take jabs in the stomach just to soften up your womb, just so, an egg can attach to it. It's over. It's a hard knock life, and it's hard knock life, especially in your stomach. That womb lining is just too hard. So when you start to see all of this, and you start to see how people just can't let go, I think about if I ever have to let go of any of my vehicles or anything, how I would actually act, react, and try to be also proactive so I don't have to deal with that. But how I would actually make it through that situation, through that quote unquote issue. And, I think to myself, like, damn, how can I like, stay away from that? Like, I don't need that to be something where I'm like, I actually have to deal with that. And I think about that, man. And a part of, growing up is learning how to deal with loss, learning how to, deal with not getting what you want, not getting it the way that you want it, so on and so forth. So when I hear about, like, say, an Eboni K. Williams, and she wants to be a mother so bad, well, you didn't want it bad enough in your earlier years. You didn't want it bad enough in the past. Now we're here. Now it's quote unquote over. You need to leave all that. You need to leave that dope alone. Like, that's done with. That's finito. In the words of accountable commentary, that's finito under the sun, Keisha. It's nasty work. Nasty work. I fucking love this dude's like New York, whatever, upstate accent. That shit is so fucking hilarious, dude. It's nasty work. It's nasty work. These Keishas is out here. Finito to the sunburn out. Pound Tizzy tour. Yo, it be killing me. Every time I listen to this shit, I be fucking dying. But it's nasty work. Now you kind of backtracking, and Ed said it great. He said, hey, you know, a lot of you chicks, sorry, it's feeding time. A lot of you chicks are still trying to, I forgot what he said, but anyways, he said something I forgot to hear with the dogs. But a lot of you chicks are trying to hold on and do extra shit that's just not necessary anymore. You need to let that shit go. Like, so when you look at, and back to the point here, but when you look at Eboni K. Williams, what she has, what she can do in terms of money and everything else like that, you need to pay for it. You need to go ahead and pay for it. Like, get it out, like, you know, get that shit up out your system. It's over for you and motherhood and actually holding the baby. All you're going to be holding is a miscarriage. That baby start dying at 7 months. And then you miscarry. And then what you going to be holding? A motherfucking L. So hold a smaller L, have somebody else do it, and have a surrogate. I'm dealing with this chick right now. She's really nice. I'm not going to lie. She's really fucking nice. But I am under no illusions that I could be with this chick long term and then have children. At that point, I'm sorry. I'm going to have to either have a surrogate or have a baby with another chick. Even if we say, hey, listen, let's stay together and make this work. Okay, cool. But I'm going to need a kid, and I can't get it out of you. I just can't. You ain't got it no more, and it's okay. You know what I mean? Like, let me stroke your hair. Baby, it's okay. It's okay. Like, it is what it is. So when I look at this, and I look at Eboni K. Williams, and I look at, you know, the situation she's going through, and then I look at even my situation where I'm like, man, you know, I got to do X, Y, and Z. See, this is how you know it's fall. I mean, obviously, because the leaves start falling, but this whole damn tree is about to freaking get skinny on me. So when I see this, and I see all the stuff that's going on, especially in the manosphere, the general society, how these chicks that used to say all this shit against Kevin Samuels, such as like, you know, Kendra G, Eboni K. Williams, other women, other men in the space, Umar Jackson, and they're saying, Dr. Umar Jackson, they're saying the same shit that he was saying, that even before, and Ed said it great, you know, Kevin Samuels he wasn't the originator of the truth. He just popularized it. He popularized the shit that we was already seeing, saying, and everything else out here. So why is it so new to people? Why are people acting as if these people are coming out with something? Why do these people that were against Kevin Samuels and what he did and the message that he was trying to spread, why were they so much against him when this shit was already out there? You just didn't you, of course, propaganda machine. You didn't want this shit to be out there. So now we look at Eboni K. Williams, and now you're losing it. You've lost your chance to actually have a natural birth because you wanted to do everything else. You wanted to play around, do all this other shit. I mean, listen, and again, even in my age and some of the things that I used to do and everything else like that, I can't do anymore, or that windows for me to do certain things is just not open anymore. I can't go through that window. I have to take a different route to get to a certain goal, and the goal will not be the same as before. So trick or get off the pot. Pay for a surrogate, Eboni K. You don't need to do all this stuff. You don't need to have the birth. You don't need to go through all these shots. Have a fucking surrogate. You don't, like, honestly, you get the genetic material. You got your eggs. You got whoever niggas eggs you got. or not eggs, but sperm you got. Like, whoever spunk man juice that you got, whoever's man's Kool-Aid that you got, go ahead and take that shit, you know, go to this chick, pay her about $30K, maybe a little bit more, and then get out of there, man. Skeet and skedaddle, man. You know, or mix and skedaddle. You know what I mean? These motherfuckers making cocktails and shit like that, and it's just like, you make a cocktail, you trying to make a cocktail, hey, calm down. You trying to make a cocktail, and it's just like, man, you ain't got all the ingredients, sis. Sis, you ain't got all the ingredients. Trick or get off the pot. It's over. It's over. It's over, Keisha. It's over for that. And I think about this, too, in terms of being a man and being realistic and just be a person that is of a male mindset, you know, male logic, so on and so forth. And I look at my situation, I'm like, hey, listen, man, you know, at this point, I'm gonna just have to mix. I can't find this from one person. I'm gonna have to mix certain things, like that whole true love and all this other stuff. Man, listen, at this point, if anything, it's just companionship, sex, and, you know, the whole kid stuff. You can't get for that from like a woman my age. You just like that shit. She already come with kids. You know, I'm not going, I don't want no virgin, but like, I'm not going to meet somebody that ain't got no kids. And if the person ain't got no kids, especially at their age, at my age, you know, 37 going on 38 here in a couple of days, you know what, listen, it's over for all that. It's over for all that. All this, like, you know, hey, you know, true love, passion, and all this other, no, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to myself. Like, I know this is not, it's not going to be that way. It's not going to be that true love and all the hormones and all types of other shit. Like, all that shit is like, it's gone down since, like, you know, the early to mid 20s and stuff like that. The virality in terms of me and my manhood, in terms of what I like to do, what I'm willing to do to impress and get what I want out of a woman in terms of sexual contact, what have you. Like, all that stuff is over. There's no, you know, listen, it's all that stuff like, yo, pack it up, trick or get off the pot. Why are you spending all this time and money hurting your damn self just so you can prove that you could be a mother? Oh, you know, this is on my bucket list. I'm sorry, baby. Some things on your bucket list will never get checked off. That's just how it is. Some things on your bucket list will never get checked off. Well, you know, everything is possible. You keep believing that. And your IVF treatment appointment is set and in the books. You know what I mean? Like, just look at it. Look at it. What are you doing? What are you doing to yourself in the long run? What are you really doing to yourself? And that's the thing that kind of kills me about certain people when they start doing this shit, women, even men, is like, hey, listen, at some point you really do have to let go. And a big problem is a lot of people don't know how to let go. They really just don't. They don't know what to do. They don't know how that actually works. And then they just sit out there. They just look at, they just stare it into the abyss, and they're like, I don't know what, I don't know what to, I don't know how to deal, how to cope, how to handle this. And that's a problem. That's a huge fucking problem. All right, with that being said, I need to take my ass to the gym. It is, what, 8:40 or something like that. So, yeah, I gotta get over there and get my stretches done. My freaking knee's been acting up for about a month or so, and today actually feels pretty good. Took some Advil and that helped out. But with that being said, peace, love you all, wish you all the best throughout your life, and understand and be willing on any and all times to let go so that you can actually maintain your freedom and contentment.